Welcome back. In any tech role, there's this constant balancing act, right? The dance between going it alone and teaming up. Well, today, we're diving into the B3 standard. We're going to uncover that secret sauce, what really makes someone an invaluable team player. Okay, to really wrap our heads around this, let's start with an analogy. Just imagine a really busy high-end restaurant kitchen. You've got the sous chef, head down, totally focused, prepping ingredients all by themselves. But then you look over and the line cooks are working in perfect harmony, like a well-oiled machine, getting plates out for that dinner rush. That right there, that seamless switch from solo work to intense collaboration, that's exactly what this is all about. It's not about choosing one or the other. It's about being a master of both. So, what's the official definition of the B3 standard? Well, it's basically about how you describe the way you work, both on your own and with other people. And here's the kicker. It's also about the impact your work has on everyone else. To make this super clear, we're going to walk through a little story. Let's follow a data analyst at a food delivery app we'll call Hungry Now. Their big goal? To make those deliveries faster. So our story doesn't actually start in a noisy team meeting. Nope. It starts with the quiet, heads-down work that happens before the meeting even begins. This first part is all about taking the initiative and working independently. See, our analysts at Hungry Now, they're not just sitting around waiting for instructions. Way before the big team meeting, they're already on it. They draft up a Power BI dashboard, they dig in and find those specific postcodes that are causing delays, they write up a quick summary of the trends they're seeing, and get this, they even test out a totally new metric, delay per mile, just to see if it adds more insight. This is pure proactive work, and it's going to make that team meeting so much more effective. Now listen up, because how you talk about this work is just as important. When you're putting together your portfolio or you're in a performance review, you don't just say, yeah, I made a chart. No way. You frame it with impact. You say something like, I independently created an exploratory dashboard to proactively add insight before anyone even asked. See the difference? That kind of language screams ownership and initiative. It's exactly what people want to see. All right, the solo prep work is in the bag. Now, our analyst heads into the team meeting. This is the moment where all that individual effort starts turning into real collaborative value. It's sync-up time. So in the meeting, our analyst presents what they found. But here's the key. They're not just broadcasting, they're listening. When the operations manager gives feedback on the dashboard's layout, they take it on board. They huddle up with a developer to brainstorm how to pull cleaner data from the API. This is what real collaboration looks like. It's not just about talking, it's about listening, adapting, and working together to make the final product better. And you guessed it, the phrasing here is absolutely crucial. You describe this by saying, I collaborated closely with the software engineering team, and I responded to stakeholder feedback by improving the data presentation. Using words like these shows you're not just a lone wolf. You can work with different kinds of teams, and more importantly, you're not defensive. You're open to making things better based on what others need. But let's be real. All this amazing solo work and fantastic teamwork, it doesn't mean a thing if you can't show what it actually accomplished. You have to prove it. You need to show the measurable impact. So that brings us to the million-dollar question, right? The question every manager, every stakeholder wants to know. So what? What did this actually achieve? Well, for starters, the operations team took that new dashboard and used it to reroute their drivers. The result? On-time deliveries shot up by 8 to 12% in those problem areas. I mean, that's a direct hit on customer happiness and, of course, the company's bottom line. Huge. And the impact wasn't just external. Remember that collaboration with the developer? By sorting out the data structure together, our analyst actually reduced the amount of rework the engineering team had to do by a whopping 25%. Think about that. Making your teammates' lives easier, that is a massive win. So you want to describe this at the highest level, right? The distinction level? Here's how you do it. You connect all the dots, the cause and the effect. By independently preparing the analysis and then collaboratively refining it with the team, I accelerated decision-making across departments and reduced the workload on our developers. Boom. That shows you see the big picture, the entire journey of your work from start to finish. Okay, let's zoom out from our Hungry Now story for a second. Why does this balancing act matter so much? Not just here, but across the entire tech world. It really boils down to this. Are you owning tasks or are you owning outcomes? See, pretty much anyone can close out an assigned ticket, but a real standout, they make sure that their work solves the actual problem the team is facing. They're not just waiting for their next assignment, they're actively looking for ways to unblock other people. It's a completely different way of thinking. This is what the best tech teams are made of. It's these habits. It's people who take total ownership of their work, but also have the wisdom to know when to raise their hand and ask for help. They never become the bottleneck because they're not just sitting around waiting. And they communicate clearly, no matter who they're talking to. Another dev, a project manager, you name it. Look, at the end of the day, you have to remember this. Your skills with Python or Power BI or whatever your tool is, that's just the price of admission. That gets you in the door. Your real value, the thing that will define your career, is your judgment. It's knowing when to put your head down and run solo, and when to sync up and play in harmony with the rest of the team. And that is the heart of B3. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Where do you naturally fall on that spectrum? Are you more of a lone wolf or a team player? And more importantly, what's one thing you can do on your next project to really master that balance between the two? Thanks for diving into this with me.